Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Let's Analyze! Today, we'll be analyzing the new Xmas Power Creep banner. Now, as you may have no doubt noticed if you've seen the video, this banner is all about armor. Armor, and more armor. Now, I highly doubt I'll actually be investing on these units, especially because Chrom and Lissa are sharing a color. I absolutely hate it when they share color on a 3% banner. It just makes me not want to spend any money on it at all. That being said, there's already many good green armor units. We start from the obvious Hector, then there's Sheena, and then Blonde Nino, Amelia, and then you have Henry from Halloween, and now you have Chrom and Lissa. Honestly though, I don't think their stat line is going to be that much better than Blonde Nino's, so if I'm going to do anything, I'll probably be investing on Blonde Nino when she gets a 8% or 5% bonus sometime, maybe this Christmas or later next year. So chances are, I'm only going to be doing this summoning to bolster the armor units that I already have. You only really need one team anyway, you don't need more than that. Okay, so let's talk about the units in questions now. Okay, the first unit we have today is Lissa. Now before anything else, let me just say this. Her outfit is absolutely hot. It is the best outfit in this entire banner. I don't care what anybody else says. Tharja looks like a goddamn whore in comparison. Anyway, let's talk about her amazing abilities. Now this is the meat of today's programming. So let's talk about the weapon first. The effect is that you get attack, speed, defense, and resistance when an enemy initiates combat on you, so it's a strictly enemy-faced weapon. Now, this effect is shared between all the Xmas Banner units, so I won't have to go into details with that for the other units. But, so the thing with this thing is that it doesn't have the 100% HP requirement as the summer thing, in exchange that it only works during enemy phase. Which actually might not be such a bad thing, because of all the recent healer pain savage stuff going on. You might lose your 100% before you even get to do anything with your weapon. So with this, you don't have to worry about the HP requirement, which is actually quite a relief. Because when it comes to armor, they're usually enemy phase units anyway, because of how slow they move, unless you get armor march. So this is a good thing, so you can take a hit. Now, it doesn't work too well with the B skill, which is Bold Fighter, which is an all initiation thing. But honestly, it might not be so bad either, because if you have extra speed when you're attacked, there's a chance that you're not going to get doubled. Now, not taking a second hit is a very good thing, especially considering that you're probably going to have to contend with a third hit on a counter attack. So that meshes decently well with Bold Fighter 3. It allows you to stay as healthy as possible so that you can, go on the offensive without worrying about dying, provided that you didn't already die from the second hit in the first place. That is what makes Handbell worth it, in my opinion. Even if it doesn't have any good initiation skills, sometimes you have to think about enemy face, even if you're a player face unit. Alright, now that being said, let's talk about Bold Fighter 3. That is possibly the best player face skill I have ever seen in some time. Now, luckily for us, it has the fighter suffix, and the icon also seems to indicate that it's going to be an armor skill, which is a good thing, because I do not want to see that skill everywhere because of how broken it is. I mean, look, this is Ephraim's special ability without having to worry about HP at all. You also get +1 to special ability charge every time you attack. Now, I don't know if it works on on an enemy counter attack, but even if it doesn't, it's broken enough as it is. I don't even know what they were thinking when they decide to make this skill. I remember a specific little interview that they have with Shingo Makuhito or whatever, and he's like, oh yeah, what are you gonna do about power creep? Oh, we're trying to prevent it from happening. So we prevent it by happening by making more power creep to balance things out, right? Ha! Yeah, okay, whatever, dude. You're just a greedy ass son of a bitch. But still, it works on me, and I will go and pick up 2 copies of Lissa's and slap it onto my armor unit. Now, that being said, who can make the most use out of this? Obviously, the units that they come from is gonna be good. But say, you know, you have a +10 Hector, well, congratulations, your Hector is now both an enemy face unit and a player face unit. It is absolutely absurd that something like this can be allowed. And since Hector comes with a high attack count, he is very suited for this task. Another unit that I can think of immediately off the top of my head would be Effie. Now Effie, oh my god, dude. Now I don't even have to worry about using a Brave Lance anymore. I could use something else and completely obliterate any enemy that I face. This is an absolutely broken skill, and if they want to get me to summon, well, they have succeeded. But I'm only going to summon 2. I don't know if I'm going to summon more than that. It's not a very good skill on strictly enemy face units such as Xian, and even Burger King I'm kind of not sure, because Burger King is sort of fast and he doesn't really need it, and Wrath is really good. Still, it will work on Burger King as well. It's not like it's a bad skill or anything. Actually, you know, probably I might have said this too soon. Actually, it might even be better on Burger King, because the problem with Burger King is that he can't be merged. So he's going to be sitting at 34 speed. 34 speed in today's meta is... You might be able to prevent yourself from getting doubled, and that's even kind of stretching it. So that's not too bad. So you want to turn him into a player face unit? There you have it. You launch an attack, get 2 charge, then you get counter attack, another charge, and then the second attack, BAM! Black Luna. Their face gets ripped off. But still, I mean, his weapon is more of an enemy face weapon, so playing to his strength, to his weapon strength, we could still give him an enemy face. There are still skills that will be good for him on an enemy face. I mean, Quick Riposta already it will be enough. Quick Riposta Steady Breath is the standard, and it will work just as well. Anyway, let's talk about the other units now. Next up, we have Crom, and he's looking good. His art definitely got power creeped. But what else does he bring to the table exactly? Well, he's got Brazen Atk and Defense 3, which, when his HP is less than or equal to 80% at the start of combat, he gains attack and defense +7 during combat. Now, this is very important. So, usually with skills like Defiant Attack, you get 7 attack and when you're less than 50% health. Now, already the requirement it's already beaten. So what happens after that is that you have to wait till the beginning of your turn to get the 7 attack, and when you do get it, it is a visible buff. I hate visible buffs because they don't stack with other visible buffs. Whereas with this, you can now stack with, well, yet another visible buff, or other things like Spur, or Gold, or Drive, and you can raise your attack and defense to some astronomical levels. It's actually pretty comical how much they power creep these skills. But yes, that skill is pretty powerful, especially on tanky units. If that don't think about speed, I could put it to use on Obaro or something. It have to depend if it's a strictly armor skill or not. It'll be good on Obaro, it'll be good on Baruka, and it'll probably be good on a couple other units too. I'll think about that when we get there. So, Defiant Attack, Turfing, nice knowing you guys, but you're done. Finished. Destroyed. Finito. Okay, so the next unit we'll be talking about is Robin. We've all seen his art before, so there's nothing special there. But what does he bring exactly to the table? Well, he's got the Brazen Atk and Speed 3. Now that is very scary. So, obviously it doesn't benefit Obaro or Baruka as much, but for guys who, you know, usually it has like middling speed or something like that, well, suddenly they become a lot scarier. So what happens is that they take a hit, and then all of a sudden their speed is 7 more. And that's more than enough in most cases for them to suddenly start doubling units that they normally couldn't double before. On top of that, you also get an attack bonus. So this skill is scary, 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 scary strong. The idea that Robin can suddenly stab me twice in the ass with a Christmas tree is enough for me to quiver in fear. So I recommend pulling some as well, but it also depends if that skill is armor restricted or infantry restricted or not. It's very important to know these things first, but even if they're not, you know, it's a very powerful skill. Still, it's got its weaknesses with its HP requirement, so it doesn't quite replace Deathblow yet. Anyway, so the other thing he gives is Armor March 3, and we all know how important Armor March is to give armor a player phase. I probably don't need to go into too much details about that. Okay, now let's move on to the next and final unit. And finally, we have Tharja, who is being hoarded out by intelligence systems for Christmas. Now, despite the way she looks, she's an armored unit, and, well, her weapon is actually quite good for her, because, as you know, ranged units have less BST, so this really gives her quite a bit of extra stats that she needs for her job. Now, her main job is countering attacks, as you can probably imagine, with Close Counter and Vengeful Fighter. So, Close Counter I probably don't need to explain much. It's a beautiful skill, and you're already seeing some shenanigans that I pull with Close Counter and Jenny, as well as something I might have shown before too, but I'll think about that when we get there. Now, her bags of tricks is the Vengeful Fighter 3. That skill is disgusting. Alright, look. So, my Sheena, for the longest time, had Quick Riposta 2. I was thinking about spending 20k feathers to get her to Quick Riposta 3, but now I'm glad I don't have to do that anymore because of Vengeful Fighter 3. Besides having a much more generous leeway from 70% to 50%, you now gain a special charge on a counterattack. An extra special charge on a counterattack. Now, I'm not sure if when you get attacked, you would also gain an extra charge like Steady Breath, but that is disgusting. That is so disgusting. Now, Sheena don't even have to worry about having a Slayer weapon to unleash her Ignis. Now she can use something that gives her a little bit more bulk, like Lissa's Bell or something. Well, this is actually kind of important, because bulk is very handy to have now that you have Vengeful Fighter 3, since you're, instead of using Warrior Fighter, you're going to get attacked twice if you're a slow armor unit. Though, given the choice of Vengeful Fighter 3 and the fact that normal Tharja is actually quite fast, I think that Tharja in this is going to have a pretty decent speed to not get doubled at the very least. So she can take full advantage of Vengeful Fighter 3 in that way. But anyway, other than that, if you're slow, you want to have the bulk. And well, Sheena has all the bulk in the world. Every single bulk in the world. And now, she doesn't now have to worry about having a Slayer weapon to unleash her Ignis all day, every day. Ugh, God, what's happening with this game? Well, that's pretty much it for my analysis of this banner. To sum it up, all these new toys for armor units will probably put them in a very, very, very dangerous place in the meta alongside dragons. So you need to be careful about them. You may want to bring a can opener with you when you go into the arena to deal with these armor units. Now, even if you don't have armor units for this banner, you can still try for the Brazen skills. The Brazen skills, as I described, are actually quite good, and I have a feeling that they probably won't be armor locked like the fighter skills. So those are worth looking into as well. Anyway, that's pretty much it. I thank you all for watching, and subscribe if you like this kind of stuff. I'm not entirely confident in my abilities to analyze yet, but I hope I did a decent job. Until next time.